Okay, intro to trig. Intro to trig. We're going to start off real easy. Real easy. Trigonometry. Anybody know what the word means? Some have them to do triangles. That's right. Trig means triangles. Guess what metry means? Nope. Measures. Triangle measurements. Turns out you can measure anything you want in the whole world. Curvy stuff, circles, skyscrapers. You want to measure the depths of certain things in the ocean. Anything you want can be done with trigonometry. Anybody interested in here becoming an architect or an engineer? You have to know trig. It's a huge part of the course. All right. So anyways, let's talk triangles. For right now, we're only going to talk about right triangles. All right. Here we go. So we're going to talk about triangles from this day forward. From this day forward, lowercase is going to represent sides. Uppercase is going to be angles. Don't don't randomly do that in your textbook. Like decide like, oh, I'm going to do uppercase for this, lowercase for this. It has to be specific because you're going to see questions where there's going to be like a little a. And Arya, if you see like little a in the question, what's it asking you to find? Good. And Denise, if you see like capital B, what's it asking you to find? Good, perfect. In a right triangle, also, there is a particular side which gets locked in place. Guess what that side is called? And what side is it? Well, how do you know which one's the hypotenuse, Alicia? Perfect, which is going to bring us up to our next little introduction. Across, opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. It's always the hypotenuse. It never changes. If you're unsure of what to do when you see the triangle, label that guy the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is also the what? It's also the longest side. You need to walk around. Here's what you need to walk away with at the end of today. You have to basically be able to distinguish which side is going to be the opposite side from the angle that I want, and which one is going to be the adjacent side to the angle. Who in here is really good at English? Lizzie? Tiana? Okay, we'll let you two battle it out. If I say the word adjacent, what's its vocabulary definition? Next to? Good. Tiana, who are you adjacent to? Yeah, maybe JA. Okay, all right. So we get the point. Adjacent means next to, and here's how you could tell which one's the adjacent side. You draw in the triangle, right? The hypotenuse gets locked in place, which means the other side right next to that angle is the adjacent. It has nothing to do with like the adjacent being the side that's standing up and the opposite side being the one that's laying down. You find the opposite side by locating the angle that we want, drawing an arrow, and that one's the opposite. All right, next thing. So the angle symbol is gone now. Nope. No longer will we ever use the angle symbol really in here. You know what we're going to use? This Greek symbol. What's that thing called? Theta. Theta. Why are we using Greek symbols? Name a famous Greek mathematician. Sure, he was the one that, well, he's credited with the Pythagorean theorem, which we're going to talk about. And what language did he speak? What? He spoke Greek, Latin, so we're using Greek symbols. So anytime you see that symbol right there, it means an angle. So I draw that theta symbol in. I draw an arrow across. This is the opposite side. The long side is the hypotenuse. That means this one's the adjacent. Take a look. I moved the angle. I moved it. Do you see that? I moved it. I promise I'm going to be quiet in about 2 seconds. I know I'm talking a lot. I moved it. What side switched? Good. They're not locked in place. They move around. They're dependent on the angle. So here's the deal. SOHCAHTOA. Do you know, I taught this before, and there was a girl who once told me, she goes, Mister, I swear, you know, like you write that on your paper every day, and I write that on my paper every day, but to be honest with you, I have no idea what it means. None at all. No idea. What does it mean? It's a mnemonic device. It's a memory trick to help you remember this. Do you have to remember this? Yes. In fact, you really don't. It shouldn't almost be memory. It should be like, like natural, like instinct. Like somebody punches you, what do? You punch them back. Somebody asks you for sign, you know what you do? You respond back, opposite over hypotenuse. Like you don't even have to think about it. You're like, damn, like how'd I do that? You know? So, so here we go, here we go. So this little theta symbol, guess what gets subbed in there? The angle. So like 45 degrees will get subbed right in there. Over here, opposite, hypotenuse. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about sides. You're going to get like a number like 3 or 4 or radical 2 and 7. You know what I mean? And that's how it should look. Once. We're going to practice one time, and then the rest of the period is yours. Here's the deal. This over here tells you the angle that you're supposed to start with. So if it tells you it's angle A, label that angle up. That's your theta, which means 5 is the what side? The opposite, the adjacent, what? It's the opposite side because it's opposite the angle. How about 12? What's that guy? Very nice, very nice. And what about 13? Cool, cool. And so we're about to be done in 2 seconds. The sine of A, McCarm? It's 5 over 13, opposite over hypotenuse. Denise, what's the cosine of A? Very nice. Alicia, what's the tangent of A? Very nice.